Hello YouTube, this is Apocalypse. Today I'm just going to discuss a couple little minor details about the televisions, and of course everybody has seen that the 625 TCL is now available at Best Buy. Most commonly in the 55 inch, the 65 inch is one of those going to be an elusive, kind of like the Hisense H9F was, where the H9F forever would sit there and say it wasn't available for order or delivery. And that was a big hindrance to a lot of people, even me, when, I tried to order it and a couple times and it just didn't work out great. So, I decided to get my money back and wait on the TCL 6 Series. Now the TCL 6 Series first was available on Amazon, and then just recently it's available on bestbuy.com, and it was first put up as a 55 inch that was available. Then the 65 popped up, and of course now the 8 series TCL is available. So if you can get your hands on one of those, that's going to be great. It has the Roku operating system, which last week I was very adamant about expressing my pleasure with it, because I said pleasure with it because it was a very smooth operating system. I really like it, and that's why today I'm showing this is actually my movies I own on Google Movies / Vudu / iTunes. Now, the funny thing about this is, reason I wanted to show y'all this was this operating system is pretty decent. It is decent. It might be the processor in this television, but it is really a decent operating system. Not as smooth as the Roku. But that's neither here nor there right now. What I wanted to talk about was, if you go into these movies, say I go into Aquaman, and it says down there, it says 4K HDR. Yes, it is in 4K HDR. But when you play it on Google Play, it plays in HDR10, and that is all. It will not do Dolby Vision on Google Play. The reason being, I found out recently, is Google / YouTube, which everybody knows YouTube will play in HDR10 but won't play in Dolby Vision. Google Movies will play in HDR10 but won't play in Dolby Vision. You see a pattern here. Samsung, which is the phone I'm using, will play in HDR10 no matter what I'm watching, like a TV, but won't play Dolby Vision. So what I have found out recently is that Samsung and Google they kind of have a partnership. I did not know this until recently. So your Google Movies and stuff will not play in Dolby Vision, nor will anything that you play on a Samsung TV. Even if it's Dolby Vision on Netflix, it'll play in HDR10, and it's kind of force feeding, and they're pushing for the HDR10 Plus still. I was reading that actually this morning, and the HDR10 Plus is supposed to be Dolby Vision's equal, but I don't see it being that, and it's not being adopted very well, even though it did come out on a couple movies. Recently, Godzilla being one of them, has the HDR10 Plus and Dolby Vision, depending on what format you're pushing. If you're pushing HDR10 on a Blu-ray player, which I think the only one that actually does HDR10 Plus on a 4K player right now is a Panasonic, and it's a high-end the name escapes me because I don't remember what the name of the player was. It was like a 9,000 something, but it's very expensive. It's around $600, and it plays both. It actually plays Dolby Vision and HDR10 plus. So unless you're going to spend a bunch of money, I mean, you're not going to get HDR10 plus. It's not really worth it. Dolby Vision is, I'm going to say, has already won the format war for HDR, because you have it in Hisense, you have it in TCL, you have it in Vizio, you have it in Sony TVs. Netflix has adopted Dolby Vision. Vudu has Dolby Vision. Apple TV has Dolby Vision. Everything has Dolby Vision, and I don't think but one or two things support HDR10 plus. But anyway, back to my discussion. It kind of makes sense that Samsung and Google have a thing going on, because, like I said, Google is not planning any time in the future to do Dolby Vision at all. Neither is Samsung, of course, because Samsung's HDR10 Plus is Samsung's baby. I mean, that's what they're trying to push. That's what they're trying to fight Dolby Vision with. And it's a losing battle because Dolby Vision is already implemented in so many TVs. iPhone X. I was reading about this because I'm thinking about actually switching from an Android phone, Samsung, over to an iPhone 10, because the iPhone 10 actually plays their videos in Dolby Vision. It's really cool. And I thought that was, I was like, wow, and then I found out that, they have OLED screens, LG / you know what I mean. That's another one that supports Dolby Vision heavily, is LG. So, but anyway, what I was trying to say is any of these movies that I have on my Google will not play in Dolby Vision at all. But if I go out to, let me go back out. Okay. Say I go out to Vudu, of course. The app on Vudu. Oh, that's my watch list. I don't want to do that one. My movies. Okay, say I wanted to watch John Wick 3. Okay. Click it. Yes, I own John Wick 3. Watching UHD. And you can see clearly right there, it says Dolby Vision and Dolby Atmos, which is awesome. So Vudu is one of those apps that will actually support it. YouTube will not. It does HDR10, and there's some HDR10 plus content. You have to actually look for it. Amazon Prime is one of those. They're on the fence right now. They're starting to put out Dolby Vision, but they have some HDR10 plus stuff. Netflix, of course. El Camino, of course, we're not gonna, let's see, no copyrights. Dolby Vision, you can see up there in the corner. Let me skip mine. I just, sorry, I'm trying to avoid getting any kind of copyrights or anything, because you know how YouTube is. But anyway, Ridiculous 6, that's in Dolby Vision. That's actually a really, really funny movie if you haven't watched it. It came out some years ago. I say some years like I'm 90. It came out 4 years ago. But Islands is in Dolby Vision. But anyway, I just wanted to touch base on that because Dolby Vision seems to be winning everything. HDR10 Plus is not. And I wanted to share a little tidbit of information of why on YouTube and Google Movies that you can't play Dolby Vision. It's because them and Samsung's kind of in cahoots. Probably trying to push. You know how, Samsung throws around a bunch of money all the time. But anyway, I'm sorry for the short video, but this is Kimpocalypse. And like and subscribe to my channel and share my videos. And I will have more for you next time.